So what are you doing down there?
No, I can't see her. He's better up here. We're live.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, councillors. Welcome to our infrastructure meeting on the 12th of April 2022, starting at 12:31 p.m. This meeting will be audio recorded, and those in attendance should refrain from making any defamatory statements. There are to be no other recordings of this meeting without the prior authorisation of the committee. Any applications for attending the video by video link? Being nil. Any apologies?
No.
Nil, thank you. Declarations of interest.
Well, there will be an apology from the General Manager. He is.
Turn you.
I will say there's an apology from the General Manager.
Okay,
He is
well, that could be noted anyway. Apologies from the General Manager. Any public participation? There being nil. Business items. If you'd like to turn to page 1, Infrastructure Services Report, ISC 04.04.1, Cashless Sewerage System Update. Okay, Greg Longman, are you present? You definitely are. You have the floor.
That's okay. I'm happy to speak to this one, Mr. Chair. You know how much I do enjoy talking to all the items on the Infrastructure Committee.
Thank you so much. I can't wait.
So the idea was that we'd report back to the committee and say exactly where we're at right now and the history, etc. This comes off the back of the fact that we also recently had some community meetings in Castless, and there was some questions asked around not wholly related to sewer, but around the table water, the groundwater and the drinking water. So I'll take the report as read. But what you can see from the report is that we have explored a number of options. The original option is the pond system design. We did look for refinements in that. If you look at page 4, you can see a table with a breakdown of the costs. There will be an annual operation maintenance cost for everything. However, we don't have the costs.
Just pause a moment. We all conversed with that. With page 40, wasn't it? What page are we on? Here we are, page 4.
Sorry.
Yeah, it just has that breakdown. I think it's very important that we understand that, because it's very essential to what we're discussing. Thank you.
The report itself, the option is just that council note the report. It's very important that the public and the councillors are able to see what's been explored. As of right now, we have requested formally, as previously requested by yourself, Mr. Chair, we have written to Dave Lazell MP, and we'd also copied in the Honourable Barnaby Joyce MP, requesting additional funding so that we can deliver what we want to deliver. We did explore other options, however, the ongoing costs seem to be prohibitive, but we just wanted to reassure the residents and the council that we've not sat on our laurels and we are exploring other options. So we just ask that council please note the contents of this report.
Thank you. Are there any other comments or questions? I think it is also worthy of note that as you read, it is noted that the original funding was only 45%, and council had agreed to fund 55%, which was 1.47 million. So the total then, it was falling short, and of course we are generally asked why has council not continued, and we just have wasted time. But I think when people realise that we didn't waste time, but the original design was not one that was going to meet the needs of the community. So it's important too to note that letters have been written to the politicians, as stated, assisting further funding. So at this stage, I ask anybody have any questions, because we just can't fund it at this stage. Councillor.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, shall we move it first?
Yeah, we should move it. Yeah, move it, please.
Maybe to move.
Second.
Second.
Okay. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, I think the ayes have it. Thank you, councillor, for reminding me of that. So there not being anything further on that, the 100% detailed design is 5.594. And if we look at the table 1 and the breakdown, even if we come back to the package plant, which we to reduce the cost over a period of 10 years, it's going to far exceed what the original cost will be. So I think that's as far as we can go. All right, we turn to page 8. See where we're up to, page 8. IC 4.2 works program. Karen, you're going to continue, are you?
I shall continue, Mr. Chair, if that's okay with you. It's your standard report. Everyone here is used to seeing this report. I will take it as read. It has full comments and explanations throughout the report. So if anyone has any additional requests for information or questions, then please do speak up.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Karen, how come it's page 11 on our computer? Is the first lot taken up by context? Yeah, right. Just gets a bit confusing. Can we fix that or not?
I'm sure we can look at doing that.
Like have page 1 to 4 as the context and then start the agenda item.
Yeah, we can look at doing that.
That's if you go through the agenda, like I just press the page number, you're always on the wrong page.
Yeah, okay. Apologies for that. We'll fix that up for next meeting.
Mover and seconder then, please. Do we have?
I move it.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. That's a deeper voice. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, I think the ayes have it. Any questions or comments? On page 9, Hall Road and King George Avenue program for June. After completion of scone works, there may be a delay in the program, which could result in a work rollover to next year's fiscal year. Okay, that's still going to take. The main thing is it's booked in. It will happen.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that's fine. All right. If there are no further questions or comments,
Mr. Chair, just a comment.
yes.
There we had a mover and a seconder and we all voted in favour. In favour.
Yeah.
The debate's really finished, so just be careful.
Well,
Before you move into the all in favour, do your questions and comments.
all right. I'll do it. I would have done it the other way, but that it's proper meeting protocol. That's what we will do. Thank you. Yeah. Because after it's moved and seconded, it should be finished. Close it.
Well, not necessarily, Mr. Chair. After moved and second, you can debate.
Yeah, but
But then once you go all for and against, that's the end of the debate.
yeah, but that's right. Once you vote on it, that then closes the thing. Okay. Yeah, I've been a bit lax on that. Okay, so do we have anything further on that? That's probably going. It's all been closed now, but I think that it's all done. So we'll turn over to page 13.
Electronic page 16 for those.
I didn't hear that. My hearing is not good.
Would you like me to talk to this, Mr. Chair?
Okay. Yeah.
So through you, Mr. Chair, for everyone's benefit, it's hard copy page 13. It's electronic page 16 for those of you using LG Hub. So this is the standard Works Programme Infrastructure Services report. Once again, same as the previous report, I will take it as read. There are full comments and explanations against the relevant items. And as always, attached to this report is the appropriate schedules and the works that have been completed. So that includes the grading programme and the resheeting programme. Once we've got a mover and a seconder, I'm happy to take any comments or questions.
I move it.
Okay. Questions or
second.
comments?
A question through you, Mr Chair, down to signs and line marking.
What are we up to with that?
Page 19.
Page 16 on the hard copy, page 19 on the electronic copy.
The line marking down near the yellow cottage. We did some seal work there and we never put the the lines in.
Sorry, what street is that?
Liverpool Street down near the yellow cottage.
Okay.
You'll see the lines there very faded with older people outside the units, but there's no actually white lines there.
Okay, we can look at putting that on the schedule, no problem.
Also, can I ask regarding the line marking in the streets of Merriwall, how are we going with that? Are they scheduled in or just the actual parking bays? Are they already scheduled?
Through the chair, is there a specific spot that you're looking at? Because obviously we can only do a certain percentage of our network each year.
Right.
And basically we concentrate on the main roads and high trafficked areas. So if you've got somewhere in particular, I'm happy to look at it.
Yeah, look, the northern and the southern side of Beddington Street, that's in the main street. They're the two main ones. Probably the northern side is probably worse than the other side, but look, they both need to be remarked.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I'll look at that for you.
Thank you. And I note also, Sam, the amount of reshooting and gravelling, which I had asked regarding. They're actual tonnes that are going on that road now. Was that over the last 12 months? Well, that's from the 1st of July 21 to date. Those amounts of gravel that are noted.
Chair, it's this financial year's
Right.
tonnage to date.
Through you, Mr Chair, for the benefit of everybody else, Mr Chair is referring to the last page of the agenda, which shows the gravel patching tonnages.
Yeah, it's something that I'm asked quite often, but it was just good to have that that amount that has been actually put on the roads. And I also might add too that the Kalingra Road, while there was certainly comment on social media, etc., but it was noted the fact that council had taken patched some gravel down there, which was very well received. But there is not a clear understanding of just how far the council is responsible down there, which is 18.4 kilometres. And my understanding is that some of those complaints were coming in from the further down.
Through you, Mr Chair, you are correct about that assertion. As you know, you and I have exchanged emails on this topic and I provided you with the kilometres. You should also be made aware that council's plan is to erect signage that states that council maintenance ends at this point in certain locations.
I think that's a very good, thank you for bringing that to my attention. And also down the Warrandi Road, because that's been a contentious point down there, because I think it's 3.8 kilometres.
I'm happy to take any service requests outside of this meeting if you'd like.
I think that needs to be noted though. We need to get those things done. Okay. So we are ready to vote on ISC 4.3. All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, I think the ayes have it. I'd like to turn over to page 28, I think, or whatever's on this horrible thing in front of me.
Page 28 for hard
28.
copy, page 31 for electronic
goodness
copy.
me. Yeah, I must.
So through you, Mr Chair, here we have the strategic and capital works update. So once
Karen,
again,
you have a lot to say today. That's
I hope that I'm being helpful.
indeed. Okay, ISC 4.4. Karen, you have the floor.
So once again, I'll take this as read. The main point of interest is normally hard copy, page 34. which I think you'll find is probably page 36 or 37 in your electronic copies. And that shows the projects by line item. Please note the numbering and the fact that we have removed all projects that on the previous month's meeting showed as completed. Hence the numbering showing as 9, 16, 17, 18, etc. So I'll take that as read. There is quite interesting and clear comment in the 3 right-hand columns for anyone that's looking for advanced and clear detail. If anyone's got any questions after we've...
Okay, we better have a mover and a seconder then.
I'll move it.
And you'll second it. Thank you. Okay, any discussion, questions or comments, please? Line item 30, upgrade a road for its first seal on the Barrington Tops and Forest Reserve, Forest Reserve Road. That'd be really good. I'd like that. Can we get an update on that, please, Sam? Could you tell us what? I wasn't aware that that was being reformed and ready for a first seal. Am I reading it correctly or not?
So I'm not looking after
that would be nice to have.
I thought that was
So you'll note the dates are June 2023. So we're actually preparing the tender at present for this, and we'll be advertising for the design part of the tender shortly.
Okay, line item 31. How are we gone with the community consultations?
So unfortunately, the community consultation was obviously due to happen early April. Myself and the manager for water and sewer both contracted COVID and were unable to attend. So we did put some comms out on social media. And this week, the updated hard copies have gone out to the community. Unfortunately, not everyone received the information in a timely manner. So there were a couple of people that turned up physically. However, the manager for water and sewer has personally rang those people and explained to them, apologised and explained to them that we'll be doing that in early May now. So the good news is that people have longer to give their feedback and get their information in.
Good. We've been out. Okay. Line item 41, Aberdeen River Pump Station.
So,
okay. Anyway, would you like to explain that, please?
Oh, of course I will, Mr. Chair. So this is actually a report that's coming to council this month. We have actually been out for tender for this, and the report will be at council, and council will be able to make a decision this month.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Is there any update on the Merriwar I call it reticulation plant? What's happening there? There was something regarding that.
The works have been programmed.
Because I understand that that particular farm that is mounted is located on the eastern side of that was going up for auction.
Which are you referring to now? Are you talking about the sewage treatment plant in Merriwar?
Treatment plant, yeah.
I don't believe that's listed here, is it?
Probably not, but
I don't believe we're allowed to talk to items that aren't on the agenda.
That's fine. Yeah, because there was in the other ones before. And anyway, yeah, something we need to keep an eye on. Okay, all right. Any further questions or comments? If there being no further questions and comments, I'll ask you to go past that. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. Now I'm sure we all wait with bated breath. Turn to page 43. I have that down. I'm not sure what's on these. On 45. Yeah, it's a shame they don't.
That will be fixed for the next meeting.
Yeah, well that'll be good.
You're just keeping them safe.
I just find that anyway. Never mind. So where we go. IC 4.5 Willow Tree Road upgrade MR 358. Gavin Newton Smith. You have the floor. Would you please come up to a microphone so we can ensure that we listen to every word. Thank you, Gavin.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I'll take it as read. I'll give a brief overview. We've received 75% detailed design, which has been reviewed, and those review comments have been sent back to GHD for inclusion. The current tender documents for construction are being prepared. The security fence, the additional security fences were installed and reinforcements. However, subsequently, both gates have essentially been ripped off the hinges in the last 2 weeks. And on Saturday, as a last resort, we had an excavator dig 2 trenches across the road to stop any access. The detailed cost estimate at 75% is approximately 31 million. There are a number of exclusions and assumptions made in that, and Public Works and Council are reviewing that to make sure we don't get any surprises when we do go to tender. And you'll be happy to know, Chair, that we received 100% design on Friday, so that'll be reviewed this week by the stakeholders, and our next PCG meeting will be the 19th of April, so next Monday.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, okay. I better have a mover and a seconder for that. Move it.
I'll second it.
Okay. Look, that's just great. Some of the better news. There was a question that I had that, you know, we haven't got the 100%. So then that will then after that, the costing will follow. When will we know the costing?
Yeah, so what happened through the chair, what generally happens is they finish the design, then they send it off to a cost estimator, and they'll generally within a week give a price to a GHD, and then we'll review that price again. Would
we have that pricing for the council meeting? Would it have to come back to this committee?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I don't believe we'll have it in time to submit for the council meeting. However, more than happy to provide some updates to the councillors via email through the GM.
I think that'd be a good idea, please. It's quite a, not contentious, well, it is contentious, but it is something that we all are very keen to know more about. So if that could be done, I think that'd be fine. That'd be good.
So, Mr. Chair, to add to that, I think well done, staff. I mean, we're nearly not much over getting the full designs done to what we always said. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. We're 2 weeks over.
So I think that's pretty good. We went to the community of Marywallah and we're nearly dead on. And now we just got to put the sign or signature on that funding, which hopefully next couple of weeks we may get an answer on that. And the other one is, I get quizzed on the radio this morning again about these locks, gates being broken. Isn't that all under security camera?
Unfortunately, we have had 6 cameras on site. They've all been stolen. So we have ordered more, but yeah, we don't have any more cameras within council to put back on site.
Through you,
Mr. Chair, we need to hide a camera that no one knows when they catch them pinching the cameras.
Through you, Mr. Chair, it is quite a severe, persistent, frequent turn of events. This, make no mistake, it is illegal activity. It is vandalism and it is theft and breaking and entering. We've had a number of issues. We have communicated to the community that this has been happening. We've also communicated the fact it's very unsafe for anyone to enter the site. As Gavin did allude to, this is last resort, digging the trenches. It's very frustrating and it does impede progress with the road, and heaven forbid this should happen when it's an active construction zone, because someone could really get hurt or worse.
Mr. Chair, I'd suggest that we get the infrastructure director to do a guard over Easter.
With a big stick or a pitchfork? Look, I'm not in any way behind the removal or destruction of those things, but I think it is just general the fact that the concern that there is within particular people, and I have no idea who they are, no information at all, but regarding the progress of this MR 358, and I think that probably once we get the tender process, the costings and that, and goes out to tender, I think that it'll be receive a very great tick from then on. So there's nothing more we can do, really. Gavin? Gee, someone must have a lot of good cameras.
Through the chair, yeah, they've got quite a few and there's a couple quite expensive cameras as well, unfortunately. The cameras that we have ordered will also be placed in some locations where there's actually phone service. So that'll give us a direct, it'll either be stored via the cloud, so we'll have direct access as soon as it happens, or it'll be an email sent straight to a dedicated email address. So even if they're on site at 9 o'clock or midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, the footage will still exist even if the camera is taken.
Yeah, but no one will be on site though. That's the whole point. You wouldn't know when they would be there.
Oh, through you, Mr. Chair, it's probably best that way. We don't want anyone getting hurt at all. It's very apparent that the perpetrators don't care about the community or the project and don't care about their fellow residents. So who knows what they'd do if they met someone on site at that time.
Any further questions or comments? We can vote on that. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. I would like to suggest that it was unanimous, and we are just, it's music to our ears actually that it's progressing. Excuse me. All right. Well, it's 48 in mine.
Hard copy page
I
48.
reckon that must have
Electronic
something
page
wrong.
51.
ISC 4.6, answer to councillors' questions. Okay. Well, we can go through, I guess, was anybody happy with the questions, answers to those questions?
Would you like me to move that, Mr. Chair?
Beg your pardon?
Would you like me to move the motion?
Yeah, all
Mr.
right. Yes, you
I
can
move
move
the
it. I
motion.
would. Anyway,
I'll second
second it. All right.
with a comment, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Remembering these questions and answers are here for clarification, not for debate.
Well, the resolution says for noting, I think.
Mhm.
And note the report and information. I agree. That's fine. That's what we're about. If any of us do the questions asked are not happy with them, with that one, then that can be raised, and that will then go back to have further clarification. Just one thing on point 10 of one of my questions. The driver reviver has the tender gone out? I don't know where that, because it's all finished. Sam, can you answer that? It's all done.
All but. So when you're talking about the tender, it's for the old.
Oh, I
building.
see, the old one. It did,
Yeah.
that was not my understanding. Okay. So it's gone out to tender for the removing of it's the old building.
It will go out for tender. It hasn't
will.
gone out yet.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Yes, I've had some questions regarding that. And point 11 is the clarification on this Yarrandai Road, Madam Director.
Which part would you like clarifying
Well,
on exactly?
The road is a rural 3. We seem to be having difficulty there with the amount of and the state of the road. Is rural 3, this is a question, I hope it's not out of order, is rural 3 adequate for that road?
Each road and the road network as a whole is assessed on various items, including amount of traffic, sealed or unsealed, double or single lane, etc., etc. So there's a number of factors that play in across the 2,000 kilometre road network we have that's spread across 8,000 square kilometres.
Okay, all right. And I also note on point 13 that I had included that questions that are not on an item on the agenda, the questions must be received in writing 5 working days prior to the meeting.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have some people, no one here today, that do leave it to the last minute to submit. It should be, and that's fine, but it would help council officers to do their job better if they didn't leave it to the last minute. And what I mean by that is we do actually work very hard to prepare the agenda and get it out prior to the meeting and well in advance. And if someone leaves it till the 5th working day to submit their questions, and it means that the agenda cannot be reviewed and go out that day. It means that we've got to delay it.
Yeah, look, I have no issue with that. I just think it was a very prudent direction that we had and the change, and so I think it's very good. Okay, we're happy to move the resolution that we note the councillor questions and note them. We've got a mover and a second. We had a mover and a second, do we? And you seconded? All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. Moving down to, I'm on page 58 now. Okay, ISC 4.7, questions with notice. All right, so we need to have a mover and a second of that for that too, I guess, to note these questions. Questions with notice must be provided in writing no less than 5 business days
I
prior to the
can move.
meeting.
I
Yes,
can move, Mr. Chair.
you move it? Someone second it?
Second.
Okay, all right. There were 2 lots, one from myself, and I'm happy with the response. In fact, it was very positive on like point 1. Thanks, Sam. And the other ones are from Councillor Abbott. She's not in the not present, so we would have to assume that they that's been the questions have been answered. Okay, moving a second. We've got that. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. All right. Just moving further down, I think we've dealt with this, but it was just very interesting to note, especially was one of my questions, the gravel patching and the tonnes that had been used. And I thank you very much for the infrastructure and the engineers for providing that, and the director, of course, because that's very important. I suggest that we almost print that one out and take it when we're asked questions of just what council is doing. Are we putting gravel on the road? Well, now this was very informative.
Through you, Mr. Chair, anyone, absolutely anyone in the world can access this document. It is like all agendas and minutes, they are available online on the council website. So anyone that's watching this or any residents are welcome to download it.
I'm sure that's correct, but I'm sure that won't happen. But it can happen. But it just was really good to have that there in front of the amount of gravel patching. So, okay. There be no, we don't have any questions now, do we? We've got to put them in 5 on the agenda. Okay, I'll declare the meeting closed. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your input.